Okay, Big Perk back here with us. Hahn, we're going to start with you here. Who has the edge in Game 7, the Nets or the Bucks?
Well, the Bucks do. I mean the Bucks. The Nets do because they are the home team. They have that advantage. And when you have your star is going to play no matter where, on the road, at home. That doesn't matter. And they've got two of them, even if James Harden is 100%. But what matters is the role players. The role players are what matters in a series like this, in a Game 7. Who steps up? Who gives you what Jeff Green gave you in Game 5? Again, a game at home. I'm looking at Joe Harris. Here's a guy that has not had a great series. In fact, shooting 32% from three. That's awful for a guy like him who shot almost 48% from three during the regular season. By the way, at home during the regular season, 50% from three. So you know he's more comfortable at home shooting on his home gym, his rims. That's what he likes. And even in this series, as poorly as he's shooting overall in the series, he's 39% at home from three-point range. So I'm looking at Joe Harris and I'm wondering, is this the game where he kind of gets it going, where he gets into rhythm, where he locks in and he could become that X factor like Jeff Green was in Game 5? That's why you give the advantage to the home team all the time. Vegas does it all the time, no matter what. You never see a pick 'em unless it's just one team is way better than the other. But this is pretty evenly matched. You got to go with the home team. The Nets have that. They'll also have a raucous crowd. There's no roar like a New York roar. It's going to matter in this game. And for KD, it'll be his kind of real first experience, too, when it comes to wanting to play in New York, in the Mecca. Well, here's your opportunity to do it in a Game 7.
The Mecca.
Well, I mean, it's not the Garden, but it's still New York.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question? Because soon as Allen started talking, at first I was listening to him when he said the Bucks, and then he made the mistake and said the next. I took my earpiece out my ear because I didn't want to hear that. Can you repeat the question again?
Yes. And listen, I get it. I understand. The question was, who has the edge in the game? Is it the Nets or is it the Bucks, Perk?
And this is a no-brainer, right? It's the Milwaukee Bucks. Look, the Brooklyn Nets are not healthy. We're sitting up here watching James Harden. He's skipping and walking up and down the basketball court. He cannot guard a parked car right now. We can't move laterally. We're seeing that, and they're not healthy. Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks, they have a healthy lineup. They have Giannis. They have Chris Middleton. They have Drew Holiday. They have Brook Lopez. They have everything that they need and more. The only thing about the Milwaukee Bucks is that they don't play smart basketball. But far as talent-wise, they have more talent than the Brooklyn Nets right now due to injuries. And so when I'm looking at this matchup right now, Giannis has found his way. He knows that he's not going to settle in a Game 7. He's going to attack the basket. Chris Middleton, he sees what he has to do. And it's destined for Drew Holiday to have a big night. I love what Budenholzer has done for us moving Giannis in certain parts of the game to the center position and spreading the floor. By the way, P.J. Tucker is not backing down anytime soon. I'm not saying Kevin Durant can't get another 50-piece wing dinner spicy in his sleep, but it's not going to be easy. And just think about the win that the Brooklyn Nets got and what KD had to do in that win. He had to have one of the greatest performances in his NBA career, the greatest performance in his NBA career, to overpower this Milwaukee Bucks team.
Milwaukee on the road in Brooklyn. Role players play well at home. And when you think about it, Perk, who are the role players for the Nets? Green, Brown, Blake Griffin. All those guys play well at home and not on the road. And Kevin Durant, yeah, he had to go 49, whatever, 17, 10, whatever the numbers were. And James Harden was coming just basically as a cardboard cutout to hang around, to draw attention. But James Harden got better in 6. The Bucks didn't take advantage of him at all in Game 6. Even though he was out there limping like you said, they failed to communicate that. They refused to take advantage both on the offense and the defensive end. So now, a day rest, I would assume he's a little bit better because it seemed that way in Game 6 in Milwaukee. Now, when you look at it, you say, well, Middleton was cooking in Game 6. At home, he's on the road in a hostile environment. He's never been in this situation, and we know how he plays on the road versus at home. And you say Drew Holiday, he's going to finally show up. Well, it's been a minute now. Drew Holiday, we can't What's the famous word? Witness
Better late than
protection?
never.
Oh.
We haven't been able to find him. They gave him 100 and what was it, 40 million? We haven't been able to find him. So when you look at it, it's all day long the Brooklyn Nets. Just period. It's the Brooklyn Nets.
No, it's not all day long nothing, Key. And here's why. When you go back and look at Game 5 in particular, who had control of that game? The Milwaukee Bucks. If I remember, they were up 17 or 19 points. Okay, they were dominating. Then they went away from what they were doing to get them to that point, meaning attacking the paint, owning the paint, not making dumb passes, not making dumb decisions. Like we saw, one possession in Game 5, Drew Holiday went by James Harden, finished on the left side of the basket. The very next time down the court, they gave him the same isolation. What did he do? He pulled up for a three-point shot. That's not going to happen. They're going to be in attack mode. Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, but James Harden is nowhere close to being 100%. They don't have Kyrie Irving. And if you're going to sit up here and you're going to tell me you're going to bank on Joe Harris to deliver in Game 7, then you lost the argument already.
Oh, did I? You're the guy who told me that they're going to make the adjustments they need to make. Which team do you trust more, Perk? The Bucks? Confidence from demonstrated performance. The Bucks have demonstrated that they can't perform in a big spot. I trust the Nets.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.